Hi dear cricket fans, subscribers and friends of Cricket Happenings. A warm welcome to you all to the Cricket Happening show. Well, today as you know the Boxing Day featured three matches. One was the first 2020 match of the series between New Zealand and Pakistan, where New Zealand prevailed over Pakistan. And over there in Ashes there was absolute chaos as far as Australia were concerned, because England totally dominated proceedings by bowling out Australia for 98 and then taking a 52-run lead. Were at close they were 157 for no loss in reply to Australia's 98 all out. And Australia, this is something which is happening after the last time it happened was in 1936, when they were rolled out for a score below 100 in the Ashes series. So Australia were completely outplayed yesterday by England. And then as far as India and South Africa are concerned, in Kingsmead in Durban, bad light stopped play on the first day, and India once again had a testing time against the pace bowling of South Africa. Even though Mon Markle didn't take any wickets, he was also quite lively. And then Dale Steyn had 4 wickets and 2 to Sotsobe, and India were reduced to 183 for 6 at close on the first day of the second test at Kingsmead in Durban. Well, so first thing that we do, as I said, this is going to be 3 matches into one here. So I wouldn't be able to go the whole hog, but I will give you all the important points of these matches. So the first match that I'm going to cover is the 2020 international between New Zealand and Pakistan, which was played yesterday, as I said, at the refurbished Eden Park in Auckland. And well, Pakistan were the ones who took first strike, and they were making it really count after actually, it was New Zealand who actually won the toss and put the Pakistanis in. And well, for a change, the Pakistani captain Shahid Afridi walked in with Mohammad Hafiz, and both of them started playing some very good strokes. And there were a lot of sixes being hit yesterday because the boundaries were very short. And Mohammad Hafiz and Shahid Afridi actually raised up 37 in 4 overs. And after that, once Shahid Afridi left at the score of 37, after that, Mohammad Hafiz also played some very pleasing drives, and he was with Ahmed Shahzad. And after that, suddenly Tim Southee came in, and Tim Southee became the third person in the annals of 2020 cricket history to take a hat-trick, when he had Yunis Khan, Ahmed Shahzad, and also he had Umar Akmal. Umar Akmal was a very doubtful decision. It was Barry Frost, the New Zealand umpire, actually making his debut yesterday. And well, it was a doubtful decision, but well, that was it. That was hat-trick. And in fact, Tim Southee was the person who really caused immense damage with his figures: 4 overs, 1 minute, 5 for 18. And finally, for these figures, actually gave him the man of the match. As far as Pakistan is concerned, as I said, they started off very well. Their opening was very good, and still they were keeping it going with Ahmed Shahzad also coming and hitting a 6. And but after that, Tim Southee just ran through the Pakistani innings. At one stage, he had figures of 4 for 7. He first had Mohammad Hafiz caught by McGlashan for 24 of 21 balls with 4 fours. Ahmed Shahzad was this was the hat-trick delivery. Ahmed Shahzad was caught by McGlashan on the bowling of Southee for 14 of 7 balls, 2 fours, 1 6. Yunis Khan tried to play a flashing drive on the offside, was caught by Brownlee, the debutant bowled by Southee. Brownlee caught him at third man with bowling of Southee for 2. And then it was Umar Akmal who walked in and went straight back to the pavilion as he was adjudged LBW bowled Southee for a duck. And Umar Akmal was absolutely bemused. And that was the time Umar Akmal left. It was 62 for 5. And the new bowler, Adam Mill, let me just talk about, I will be talking about him later. But before that and after that, there was not much assistance. Umar Akmal was, Fawad Alam made 9. Abdul Razzaq was out for 2, for 1. And the only players who really played was Umar Gul and Wahab Riaz, who pushed on the score. At one stage, it looked like whether Pakistan would be bowled out for 100, because 84 for 7. And then Umar Gul and it was Wahab Riaz who indulged some big hitting. And basically, Umar Gul got 30 of 31 balls with 3 fours and 1 6. Wahab Riaz was not out on 30 of 21 balls with 2 fours and 2 6. And Shoaib Akhtar was not out on 8. Now, as far as the New Zealand bowling card was concerned, so 143 for 9 was put up by Pakistan on the board. And as far as the bowling was concerned, Franklin 2 overs for 12 runs, Kyle Mills 4 overs 3 for 37. But Adam Mill, the 18-year-old pace bowler, made his debut today. And let me tell him, he has a lot of Shane Bond in him. His delivery stride when he comes into bowl, and What is very surprising is he's having the pace of 148 at the age of 18. No wonder Mark Greatbat, the head of selectors of New Zealand, has spoken very highly of him. In fact, they blooded him yesterday, and well, even though his figures don't look very impressive, 4 overs no made and none for 46, he extracted a lot of pace and bounce on the wicket, and looks to be a very lively person, and he was not really deterred by the hits that the Pakistani batsmen were doing on him. They definitely target Adam Mill, but well, let me tell you, he's a bowler for the future. He definitely has a Shane Bond action in him when he comes in. The pace is superb at the age of 18. If you can have 148, it is like we are seeing something like Waqar Yunus from Pakistan coming as a Burewala bombshell, I would say. So when Waqar actually made his debut. And then Tim Southee, 4 overs no made, 5 for 18. He had a fiver, and he was the man of the match. Scott Starry's 4 overs no made, 1 for 18. Nathan McCullum, 2 overs no made and none for 11. Now, as far as the batting of New Zealand was concerned, it was Martin Guptill who played a real blinder, I would say, because 54 he made of 29 balls, 4 fours and 4 sixes, and in that he hit one monstrous six of the bowling of Shoaib Akhtar. Shoaib Akhtar was treated in a very, very rash manner by Martin Guptill when he hit him for a monstrous 6 over square leg, and then again put him for 6 over mid wicket. In fact, he was the highest scorer. He made 54 of 29 balls, 4 fours and 4 sixes. Jesse Ryder was out for 6. Shoaib Akhtar had figures of 3 wickets. He was the successful bowler, 4 overs no made and 3 for 38. Brownlee, the debutant, could muster only 5 when he was a victim of Shoaib Akhtar. And Scott Starry was clean bowled by Shoaib Akhtar for 7. Ross Taylor then saw to it that New Zealand went to the victory without any other problems. As Ross Taylor actually also showed some form here. Not out on 39 out of 31 balls, 2 fours and 3 sixes. James Franklin was out for 19. Peter McGlashan was not out on 5. 146 for 5. New Zealand home and winning this match by 5 wickets. So New Zealand won this match by 5 wickets. And the bowling, I wouldn't say much. I could only talk about Shoaib Akhtar, 4 overs no made and 3 for 38. Abdul Razak, 1 over no made and none for 15. Umar Gul, 2 overs for 16. Saeed Ajmal, none for 14. Wahab Riaz, 1 over for 10. And Shahid Afridi, 3 overs, none for 19. Mohammad Hafiz, 3 overs no made and 1 for 29. As I said, the man of the match went to Tim Southee, who took 5 for 18 in his bag there. So but New Zealand definitely, let me not talk about it. There's no time, dear cricket fans. Let us go into the Ashes here. As far as the Ashes were concerned, well, it was something where England actually won the toss and put Australia on an MCG pitch, which had some bit of juice in the pitch, and which is what the England bowlers really exploited. With Anderson, 16 overs, 4 made and 4 for 44. Chris Tremlett, 11.5 overs, 5 made and 26 runs and 4 wickets, extracting some real bounce and putting some unplayable balls to the Aussies. And Tim Bresnan coming in and making it count in the place of Stephen Finn, 13 overs, 6 made and 2 for 25. So on 2 overs, 1 made and 1 run and no wicket. And Australia, because of this effort from the English bowlers, were all out for 98. And that was a big disappointment from the Melbourne Cricket Ground, which had a sellout crowd of over 84,000 yesterday, being the Boxing Day. And well, it was an absolute shame that Australia were rolled out for 98. As far as the batting card is concerned, Phil Hughes made 16. Ricky Ponting once again into the horror forms there, out for 10. Michael Clarke made 20, was the highest scorer. And then we had double figures for Ryan Harris, was not out on 10, and Peter Siddle was not out on 11. So 98 all out Australia. And England have taken honours on the first day, and they made 157 for no loss at close of play on the first day of the fourth test here at the MCG. Strauss was not out on 64 of 147 balls with 5 fours. Alistair Cook was not out on 80 of 137 balls with 11 fours. And let me tell you, Australia has a big task on hand. So I don't have much time, fans. I'm taking you down to Durban in South Africa, where India finished in a very, very bad fashion. In fact, they have finished in an identical fashion, that they're just a bit better than what they did in the first test, actually making 183 for 6 at close of play on the first day of the second test here at the Kingsmead in Durban, where it was South Africa who won the toss and elected to field, and India, well, the openers did something, but Virendra Sehwag was out for 25, 32 balls, 4 fours. Murali Vijay contributed 19 of 42 balls with 2 fours. Rahul Dravid was victim of Steen for 25 with 3 fours. Sachin Tendulkar was out for 13. Lakshman was the highest scorer with 38 of 73 balls with 4 fours and 1 6. And Pujara made 19. and Mahendra Singh Dhoni is not out on 19 at close of play. Harbhajan Singh was not out on 15 at close of play, and India closed at 183 for 6 on bad light stop play. And the bowling figures: Dale Steyn was the most successful bowler, 14 overs, 3 maidens, 4 for 36. Mon Markle, 15 overs, 2 maidens, none for 60. Surbe joined him with 2 wickets, 11 overs, 3 maidens, 40 runs with 2 wickets, and the prize wicket of Sachin Tendulkar. Well, dear fans, I have just spoken about it. Now, I'm having time on my YouTube broadcast, so I'm just going to talk about first the Ashes. As far as the Australian innings were concerned, well, it was Tremlett who actually gave them the breakthrough, and Tim Tremlett came in and actually had Shane Watson in all sorts of trouble. In fact, he had a ball which actually Watson fended, and the ball popped up, and Peterson took an easy catch. So Shane Watson was out, caught Peterson ball Tremlett for 5 of 12 balls. Philip Hughes again disappointed this time when he played a very flashing cover drive, flashing shot on the offside. Peterson at gully made no mistake, and Hughes was walking, caught Peterson bowled Bresnan for 16 of 32 balls with 2 fours. Ricky Ponting, what a ball from Tremlett. The ball really kept its way and just lifted. It lifted from the good length spot, and Ponting, all he could do was get an edge onto it, and Swan poached the catch in the slips, and Ponting gone, caught Swan bowled Tremlett for 10 of 38 balls with 2 fours. Michael Clarke was there. Michael Clarke was also dismissed when Anderson came in, and he had him caught behind for 20 of 54 balls with 2 fours. Everyone expected Michael Hussey, in the man in form, and probably Brad Haddin to do something, but this time both Michael Hussey and Brad Haddin failed, as Anderson was really bowling superbly at the time. He had Hussey for 8, caught behind, and Haddin was also gone, caught Strauss bowled Bresnan for 5, and Stephen Smith was caught behind at the bowling of Anderson for 6, and Mitchell Johnson was caught behind at the bowling of Anderson for a duck. Ryan Harris was not out on 10 of 23 balls with 2 fours in the end. Peter Siddle, and after that the tail was wrapped up by Tremlett, as Peter Siddle was a victim, caught behind by Pryor of Tremlett for 11, and Bill Helfner was also in fact dismissed in similar fashion, as he was caught behind the bowling of Tremlett for duck. 98 all out Australia, a very, very dismal effort, I would say, under the circumstances, because after locking the series 1-1, one would have expected Australia on a Boxing Day, a sellout crowd at the MCG, the Melbourne Cricket Ground, and Australia really, really disappointed the huge cricket fan, the number of cricket fans who came around to watch the test on Boxing Day. What a disappointment for Australia. It's a big disappointment for the Australian fans there, but I thought the bowling was absolutely on the money. Tremlett was absolutely unplayable, extracting pace and bounce. Anderson was moving the ball, swinging the ball. I said there was some early juice in the pitch. Tim Bresnan was also making the ball talk, and after that, but the Aussie bowlers couldn't actually replicate what the English bowlers did. If you see the figures, 9 overs, 3 minutes, none for 26 for Hilfenhaus. Harris 10 overs, 3 minutes, none for 30. Mitchell Johnson 7 overs, 1 for 42, was very costly. 10 overs, 4 minutes, none for 13 for Peter Siddle, looked good, pretty good. Watson 5 overs, 1 minute, none 14. Stephen Smith 6 overs, 1 minute, none for 22. Nothing could really stop Andrew Strauss and Alistair Cook from playing their strokes, and also playing in a much more disciplined manner, and actually making 157 for no loss at close of play. Strauss not out 64, Cook not out 80, looking forward to another century. And let me tell you, England already 52 runs on, and I think if England go on to a huge score in this first innings, and for sure they're going to do that, well, I think Australia probably might even be losing this match. But again, let's see how second day rolls out. If Australia can do something and restrict them to a total of whatever, that would be something good. But other than that, I thought that Australia are almost out of this match, because I am sure that England are going to not allow the stranglehold to loosen at all. What an effort from the English bowlers, superb. Okay, let's go to India. Let's go for the India-South Africa match. Stumps day 1, India 183 for 6. Virender Sehwag was caught by Jack Scalise. Steen actually got the ball to pitch in and move a bit, and Sehwag actually was caught groping, caught Callis bowled Steen for 25 of 32 balls, 4 fours. Murli Vijay got a good ball from Steen, which he edged to Boucher for 19. Rahul Dravid was Rahul Dravid. Another unplayable delivery from him, caught Roger Bolstein for 25 of 68 balls with 3 fours. Tendulkar was a victim of Sotsobe. Sotsobe got his wicket after, as I said, Sotsobe was looking out for. He bowled much better than the first test, I would say, and he was rewarded as Tendulkar played a very loose stroke. He was playing away from the body, the ball was pitching and still moving away. He